After a very good brainstorming session with the most respected, famous, and my role model, Miss Kiran Bedi, I'm back at work with Samridhi, a pre-final year law student from SGT University. Samridhi, thank you for waiting so long. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
We'd like to know about your background. Where did you grow up? Where were you born? Where did you study? And we want to know about your family in detail.
So, hello everyone. I was born in Punjab and then we had to move to Gurgaon because my mother worked here. My mother has a restaurant. She works here, so we had to move, and since then my schooling was in Haryana itself. During school, I found out about a university that takes good care of law students and offers practical experience. So given that, I joined SGT University, and the reviews from students who've already graduated from the Faculty of Law were very good. So after that, I joined SGT University's Faculty of Law.
This is a very common thing. Even when we book hotels, we look at reviews. Sometimes, we get a lot of fake reviews and a lot can be manipulated. Agree?
I agree.
But here, you're completely satisfied with the reviews you found. Those reviews weren't fake, they were real. So I think we should trust and follow genuine reviews.
Definitely.
So when did you decide to study law and why?
Sure. When I was younger in 9th grade, I was studying and thought I'd take science. I was a very good biology student. But then a show called Suits came out. I was really impressed by it, but my mother told me that's not the reality of the Indian legal system. She said I should go to court and see how lawyers work in India. So I went to Patiala House District Court. I saw a woman there. She was fighting so well that I was inspired by her. I saw her become the voice for someone who couldn't represent themselves. So I thought, this is what I want to do. Be a voice and represent people in the legal system. Since there are so many underprivileged students, children, and people who do not know about their rights, I would like to campaign through legal aid so that people can better understand their most basic rights, which is still lacking in our country.
So which law have you chosen? Is it criminal law, civil law?
So right now I'm doing a BALLB, which is standard. We have to study every law, criminal law as well as civil law. But I'm going to go for IPR, which means intellectual property rights.
Okay.
This is a very emerging field in India today.
Could you please explain it a bit more briefly for me?
Certainly. Absolutely. So intellectual property rights, IPR, is like whenever we get an idea, we invent something from it, and based on that idea and invention, we say that I own this thing. I have created it with my own idea, with my own intellect. This is what intellectual property rights is. I get the rights to the invention because I have created it through my own intellect. So there are other things in this as well, like copyright. If I create a song, that also comes under IPR. So if I create a song, or if I write some lyrics or a poem, then I take a copyright on that. Without my permission or a license, you cannot use the property I have created at all.
I think this is a very, very important course. I'm also very happy to learn about this course. It really is very important. People say, don't they, that he stole my song, or someone complains that he wrote almost the same lyrics as mine and just added 1 or 2 words. But this is very important because every individual is unique and they put all their hard work into creating something. Then someone comes along and steals it all. But how would such a case come up? How would a client come to you and say,
so we see that when there are different IPR protections, for example, let's take the example of a patent. That is for an invention. When I make a camera or when I make a machine that has novelty, that has something new for the industry, I get a patent on it. I have to apply for it online, and after that, an examiner will approve that application. And after removing and resolving all objections from the examiner or the public, I will get the patent. Which means that after getting the patent, I will sell that property. I will transfer it to someone else and I will receive compensation for it. Since it will be a large amount, I am its creator, or I will license that property to be used for a certain period of time. For example, I make a camera that is very new to the industry. You want to use it. I will give you a license for it. After a period of time, you will have to return that license to me. I am not giving you ownership rights. I am just giving you a license to use that camera. So for that, you will pay me a royalty or you will give me compensation. This is how I am earning from my intellect.
So Nandini, I am surprised and happy. All the students here are very talented and you are no exception. Everyone runs after things like, there's a lot of money in criminal law, property law, civil law. Why are you choosing this particular course? What attracted you to this subject, or
course. As I said, you can see that in India, people are becoming more creative and innovative day by day. And very, very few people know about these rights, that you also get rights over your own intellect. So this is a very emerging field. In our country and globally as well. I can go to a foreign country where there are Indians who are unable to get patents in this country or apply in a foreign country. I will help them navigate this application system and process, or I'll get in touch with the examiner. Or for example, my patent. Okay, when I get a patent, someone else comes and claims that the invention has already been created by me. That's where my job begins. As an IP lawyer, I'll help the patent holder. I'll represent that patent holder before the examiner or controller and say that this is the evidence that my patent holder is the true inventor.
So will all of this happen in a court of law?
It will be before the controller. Like there are different officers under the controller. In IPR, we don't follow the traditional court system. There's a controller who calls for an inquiry if there's an issue. First, the application goes to the controller. The controller assigns it to an examiner. The examiner scrutinizes the application. If everything is fine and all requirements are met, the patent is granted. But after that, if any opposition arises after the patent is granted, the controller can call for any inquiry. Then, I will represent the patent client.
And you'll cross-check with the other party?
Definitely.
Is this a very new subject?
We can't say it's a new subject, but we can say that people are now becoming aware of it because it's emerging and people are becoming innovative and bringing their ideas to the public. So we can say people are becoming aware, which is a very good thing, that we need to be aware of our rights and people are very creative about it. For example, today I write a poem at home in a very informal way. I don't know where to publish it, and even if I do, if someone comes and takes it and says it's theirs, what happens to my rights over that poem? What about the intellect I put into writing the poem? Nowadays, people are becoming creative and aware, which is a good thing for lawyers.
So for instance, I'll give you an example and we'll continue the conversation. Not a debate, it's a discussion. No arguments in a court of law. We're just like, I write a poem. On a summer afternoon, I was drinking hydration juice and then someone took it. When I wanted to get the book printed, it was right there in it. What will happen eventually?
You can go ahead and simply make that claim if you want.
Is just that notebook enough?
Yes, definitely. You've written it in your own handwriting. Maybe you took a photo that has a timestamp or shows the day, proving I wrote this poem on this day. Or maybe you wrote the date in your diary while writing that poem.
Suppose I write down the dates.
That's fine too. You've written it in your handwriting and you might have something hidden. For example, there could be a word you took from your past memories. You can explain that. I chose this word for this reason, because of that event in my life, and that's why I wrote this poem.
A person found guilty of stealing someone's idea. Under which section would they fall?
So under IPR, there's no jail sentence, there will be a fine. So if that person steals your idea, it depends on the severity, like how widely that poem is published.
How you felt, how shocked you were, how humiliated you felt.
Yes, exactly. You can ask for compensation or an amount.
For defamation.
Yes, but there's also general compensation. For example, 1,500, 2,000 rupees, starting from there, it depends. For example, your poem is very famous, you're a famous author. Let's take an author's example, Ruskin Bond. He wrote something. He's a very famous author and someone comes and says this is my work. Then Ruskin Bond can claim because his reputation has also been damaged publicly. So if you're not famous and there's no damage to your reputation, no major mental distress, then your compensation might be less than Ruskin Bond's.
Which is a very good thing because we all try to create something, with something, and when someone takes it, we feel a sense of loss. So it causes a lot of shock, pain, and, we face a lot of criticism because we're judged every day, every second without being properly understood. I think someone would have a section in the IPC on this subject. What do you think?
There are different laws for that. For example, for copyright, there's the Copyright Act. For patents, there's the Patents Act, 1970. So for various types, for example, in IPR, there's the Computer Layout Chips Act, which usually talks about computer chips. So there are detailed laws like this, from very minor to major ones. Yes, definitely. So because it takes time, it takes your intellect, a person's hard work. Someone comes and takes it, it not only causes shock, but is also a waste of that person's intellect, a waste of talent.
For example, someone writes content entirely on their own, and someone else, uses Google Bard or ChatGPT with a lot of plagiarism involved. Yes, because when we hire someone, we always check. Suppose we're hiring a content writer and we find that the entire content is 100% plagiarized. So in these matters, I feel that this course, this subject IPR, will be very helpful. People won't just depend on this. I can
explain something to you that recently AI cases have emerged. Yes, AI cases, copyright cases. For example, you say that I can only write 2 lines, but I'm unable to think of the next 2 lines. So I'll ask the AI, please guide me in a rhythmic, innovative way. Write the next 2 lines of my song. AI writes the lines perfectly, so there is a
Prompt engineering helps people to move forward and make progress.
They've only written the initial intro of the song, and half the song is written by AI. So in the legal system, there's a legislative vacuum regarding whether you can ask AI. You could say AI is liable, but who would you hold responsible when AI is writing half the song?
Yes, absolutely.
Does that person have personal intellectual property over that song?
That's right. Samridhi, best wishes for your future. Thank you. You've chosen a very good topic. You're not just thinking about how much you'll earn, but it's great. Your thoughts since the 9th grade. Really very good. Going to Patiala court, thinking about that woman, and today you're very soon going to become that same woman. Wishing you a happy and successful journey ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're going to have an excellent and very, forward-looking, outspoken lawyer who will have a unique agenda and a different path in law. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It was very nice meeting you. Thank you.